All right, let's start with the big story that we are tracking on Wion this morning, where Democrats have taken control of the U.S. House of Representatives. The House has now formally picked Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi as its Speaker. And this is, of course, Pelosi's second stint as the House Speaker. And she is, of course, the only woman to sit on the House chair. Now, on the first day itself, the Democrats have maneuvered to pass a legislation to end a 13-day partial government shutdown. The legislation was backed by new House Speaker, and it did not find any mention of Trump's $5 billion border wall money.
The president cannot hold public employees hostage because he wants to have a wall that is not effective in terms of its purpose, not cost effective in terms of what the opportunity cost it is of federal dollars to spend. And the president has said Mexico's going to pay for this. Come on, let's anchor ourselves into reality. Mexico is not going to pay for this wall, so no.
You solemnly swear that you will support...
Now, the two-part Democratic package includes a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security at current levels. It also provides $1.3 billion for the border fencing and also about $300 million for other security items. Now, the second part of the package funds the federal agencies such as the Departments of Agriculture, Interior and Transport. However, one also needs to remember that the bill must pass the Senate to become a law, and the U.S. Senate is still dominated by the Republicans. The White House has already brushed aside the bill by issuing a veto threat against both parts of the package. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, has continued with his demand for a wall along the southern U.S. border with Mexico.
You can call it a barrier, you can call it whatever you want, but essentially we need protection in our country. We're going to make it good. The people of our country want it. I have never had so much support as I have in the last week over my stance for border security, for border control, and for, frankly, the wall or the barrier. I have never had anything like it in terms of calls coming in terms of people writing in and tweeting and doing whatever they have to do. I've never had this much support, and we've done some things that, as you know, have been very popular.
All right, so that was Donald Trump, pretty adamant with his demand for the wall. And the promise of the wall along the 2,000-mile-long border with Mexico was, of course, one of the central themes of Donald Trump's presidential campaign. And Donald Trump and his Republicans have a tough job ahead, as the Democrats have in fact refused to pass any bill to allocate the $5 billion for building the wall with Mexico. Trump, however, has congratulated Nancy Pelosi on her election and has said that he hopes to in fact work together with her.
I just want to start off by congratulating Nancy Pelosi on being elected Speaker of the House. It's a very, very great achievement. And hopefully we're going to work together and we're going to get lots of things done like infrastructure and so much more. I know they want to do that very badly, so do I. So hopefully we're going to have a lot of things that we can get done together. And I think it's actually going to work out. I think it'll be a little bit different than a lot of people are thinking. So I congratulate Nancy. Tremendous, tremendous achievement.
Now, Thursday, of course, marks the first day of the divided government in Washington since Donald Trump took office in January 2017. And the partial shutdown, meanwhile, has, of course, entered into its 13th day, and it needs to be seen as to how long this will, of course, continue. So this, of course, is 2 years into Donald Trump's presidency that he, of course, has lost his grip on the Congress. It is now the Democrats who, of course, control the Congress. And the 13-day shutdown, of course, continues. And this is a situation it will be interesting to see as to how long will Donald Trump continue to be adamant about the $5 billion funding that he is asking for to build the wall along the border with Mexico. Now, Nancy Pelosi has, of course, come back as the Speaker of the House of Congress. And the Senate, however, the 100-member Senate, the upper house of the Parliament in the United States, is still controlled by the Republicans. So it's going to be very interesting to see as to what happens in the Senate over this two-part bill that is, of course, being passed in the Congress.
Do you solemnly swear